Hi, welcome to this video on concatenation. Now, concatenation is the process of adding strings together in a line when you output them to the screen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to demonstrate how we can add strings together and also convert other data types such as integers into strings in order to concatenate them with other words and strings. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable which I'm just going to call name. Okay, and I'm going to set it a string as an input like this, and put the prompt, what is your name, like this. So this is going to be a string. Now, if I wanted to then, for example, create another one called age, I might say age equals, I'm going to set this to be an integer as an input to prompt what is your age. Okay, and if I was to run that, it will then ask me for these two items. What I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to say print name, and then I'm going to say print age. If I run this, say what's your name, and I'll put Mr. Jackson, what's your age, 21, it's going to print that out. But what if I wanted them on the same line? Well, here's the trick of it. If I was to, I could separate them like this, put age in like that, just a simple comma in between. So again, I can just put Mr. J, and I could put 21. Okay, and it will separate it like that. But if I wanted to have it all as a sentence, for example, to concatenate it, I would need to use the plus sign. Now what this does is the plus sign will add it all together. However, that's going to cause me a potential issue. Okay, because if I do this, I'm adding a string and an integer, which are two different data types. So in theory, it should give me an error. So if I put in Mr. J, and then what's my age, 21, it's going to say cannot concatenate string and your integer because they're not the same data types. So what I would need to do is when I come back to here, I can then say str for string either side of age like this, and this would then work. So if I was to put Mr. J 21, and it does that. What I can also then start to do is I could start to concatenate other words, such as, let's say, name equals, and then plus, so it's going to add that together, and then I might then say age equals and a space, and then add that together. So when I run this, put my age in, it has then concatenated the strings, the variables, it's converted the integer into a string and put it all together in one sentence.